Hello guys, welcome to this session on getting started with Zoho SalesIQ and the Zobot. This is probably the first, one of the first webinars that's part of the webinar series that we're going to be conducting on Zoho SalesIQ and the Zobot. I'm Michelle from the Zoho SalesIQ team, and I will be taking you through these series of webinars. So I'll give you a brief introduction to Zoho SalesIQ and then also about the Zobot. I'll quickly also tell you why you will need Zoho SalesIQ for your business and how it can help maximize the number of leads that you have right now. Let's get started right away. So this is going to be the agenda of this first webinar. So we'll be looking at what Zoho SalesIQ is. So I'm going to be giving you the definition of what SalesIQ is, what it does, and what advantages you have if you have a Zoho SalesIQ installed on your website, and so much more. What you can do with SalesIQ for your own business, how you can customize it for your own business requirements. And once we're done looking at once we have a brief overview of what Zoho SalesIQ is, I'm going to be taking you through the basics of what the Zobot is and how these chatbots can help you refine your targeting and how they can help you assist customers on the website when your operators are not available, why you should build Zobots for your websites, and how it effectively replaces operators inside your organization. All right, so let's jump right into the first part of our webinar. What is Zoho SalesIQ? So there might be a very few of you or a lot of you who are familiar with what SalesIQ is and how it works, or you might have read about it in different places. For those of you who are new to this, don't you worry. Let me brief you on what Zoho SalesIQ is and how it works. So Zoho SalesIQ is a hassle-free messaging platform that consists of website visitor tracking and live chat embedded in it. So Zoho SalesIQ is a hassle-free live chat software that was designed for customer support, business growth, sales, marketing, customer engagement, and so much more. So this is basically live chat, visitor tracking, audio calls, mobile SDKs, and powerful chatbots, which is the Zobot and our main point of focus, and so much more rolled onto one platform. So in this webinar, we will focus on SalesIQ, its features, the Zobots, their skills, in particular, how they can help your business, and also we look at all of the different platforms that you can build your Zobots with. So the main goal of Zoho SalesIQ is to help you identify, score, and engage your website visitors, all right? So it tries to identify who is on your website currently. It scores them based on how long they've been on the website, which pages they're on, and it also determines if you need to talk to them or not. So all of this is done using Zoho SalesIQ's lead scoring system, which is pretty amazing when you start using it. Once you know who you want to talk to or who you want to do your business with, you will have to start engaging these visitors. That is, you will have to start saying hello. You can get the information they require in order to make a sale on your website. Connect them to the right people inside your organization in case they're needing any help with respect to buying products or getting software solutions. All of these are the things that follow once you decide who you want to do business with. So you need to fill and build customer relationships as a follow-up. For all of this, you will need Zoho SalesIQ on your website. All right. So as an example, so these are the features that are present inside Zoho SalesIQ. We have visitor tracking in order to determine where your visitors are from, how much time they're spending on the website, what pages they're visiting, what products they're interested in. You can determine all of these using your visitor tracking feature. You can send out customized messages using intelligent triggers, and then you have lead scoring to determine who your prospective customers are, and you also have campaign integration in case you want to send out bulk emails about your product updates and your new feature releases and so much more. You have audio calls, which is a very recent addition to Zoho SalesIQ. And you have CRM integration in case you want to keep track of who your leads are, what their interests are, which pages they've visited, who they've last contacted, and all of that. And they can access resources right from inside the chat window. They don't have to navigate through multiple screens in case they want to access your FAQs or articles when none of your operators are available to assist them. They have chat routing. In order to route chats to the right department and to the right operators. You have feedback management and so much more. So this is just a small bunch of features that are displayed on the screen. There's so much more to Zoho SalesIQ than this. Once you start using the product, you'll know more and better. As an example, let us consider a physical grocery store that has a bunch of people walking into it. Let's also assume there's a salesperson who is inside the store and is trying to gauge each customer inside the store. All right. So he looks at who is in the store, what they're looking at, and what they actually need. So then he figures out which of these customers he should be actually talking to. That is, he tries to have a scoring system based on their interests and needs. That is, what products they're looking at and what they want to buy, which products they're showing more interest towards, and determines which customer is likely to buy a lot of products. So after he does this scoring, he will have to start looking at how he can help these people inside the grocery store. And so the story goes on as he figures out ways to help them, and they get the products that they need and walk up to the billing counter to get them billed. So this is pretty much a physical store scenario. On a website or on an online store, Zoho SalesIQ will do all of the job that a salesperson in a physical store does. Alright, so I think this should give you a better understanding of what Zoho SalesIQ does. So how can your customers contact you? So you can have the live chat widget installed on your website. You will see a tiny bubble at the bottom right or bottom left of your screen. So this widget can be placed based on your own business requirements. You can customize these widgets as much as you want to. You can customize the color, the look, and the position of the chat widget. Or they can contact you through the Zoho SalesIQ web app, or in case they have SalesIQ mobile application installed on their phone, they can contact you through that as well. So now that we're done setting up our website and installing the Zoho SalesIQ live chat code on the website, I'll tell you what you can do with Zoho SalesIQ on your website. So let us again assume that there is a company called Zilker Inc., which is an organization that builds multiple products and offers software solutions. Also, they have a separate web page for each of their products, and there's also very good traffic on their web page, and they have been using Zoho SalesIQ for a while to track their visitors' footprints. So in this scenario, Zoho SalesIQ will help reps of the organization to understand how each new or returning visitor navigates through the different pages on the website in real time, and it also lets them engage with them by chat. Then it helps them capture right customers at the right moment and provide focused engagement on potentials. And it also helps these reps to give instant resolutions to visitor queries. So customer journeys basically begin at knowing your customer, right? Who they are, what they do, etc. And then it ends with reaching out to them and addressing whatever needs they have after they've landed on your website. In between all of this, you also need to give them quick support and also keep them engaged. So let me tell you how to do all of these using Zoho SalesIQ. So first of all, you need to know who your visitors are and what they want to do on your website currently. A customer's journey begins right when they land on your website, all right? So first, you need to start learning about them, their environment, and start analyzing their actions on the website. For this, you technically need to identify your visitors. You can do this in Zoho SalesIQ either using their visitor ID, past visits and chats, JS APIs, forms, or identifier links. So segment your visitors. You can filter or segment your visitors using their actions, or that is the actions that they have performed on your website. This can be done in the visitor tracking module. All right. Visitors visiting your websites be it a single website or multiple websites, they can be tracked and prioritized based on the various criterions set by you. So this is the Zoho SalesIQ visitor tracking module. All right. So inside the visitors online module, you can see how many visitors are currently on your website, what pages they're visiting, which countries they're from, their name and the time they've spent on the website, and their status, and so much more. So the stars that you see outside the rings are cold visitors who have not done anything on the website, who have landed on the website but have been idle for a long time. They are represented as stars inside the visitors online module. So this is the visitors online module. So to enable visitor tracking on your website and for you to be able to track all of the visitors who land on your website or what they're doing on your website, which pages they've visited, you need to copy the code inside your SalesIQ portal. You need to copy this live chat code inside your website's build in order to enable visitor tracking. So all you have to do is copy this code and paste it inside the source code of your website. You can also send this code to your web developer and get this done with. So SalesIQ allows you to organize the filtered and prioritized visitor data into two forms. You can either organize these around the priority circles in the ring view, or you can switch to the list view and view all of the visitors on your website. You can also customize this view by clicking on customize. All right, so here inside this section you can set up rules for your visitor tracking based on your own business requirements. All right, so let me click on one and show you. So here the ring 1 says when the visitor's time on site is more than 10 minutes, they'll be pushed to ring 1. All right, so I can go ahead and change this to maybe 5 minutes or 6 minutes or 8 minutes or whatever be it. All right, and I can also change conditions for all of these rings, ring 2, ring 3, or I can set up entirely different conditions. Maybe I can choose a completely different criteria. Maybe I can say if the number of past chats of the visitor is between 5 and 10, I will want to put them inside ring 1. All right, and then for ring 2, I can set up a different condition. Maybe for this one, I'll go to number of visits is equal to maybe 3. And for ring 3, one more condition, let me choose. I'm pretty confused as to which one I should choose because there's so many different options that I can choose from. I have operating system, lead score, last action performed, email address, department, custom action, city, country. Okay, all right. Let me say city is equal to say Chennai. Let me say city is equal to New York. All right. So I can change or modify these customizations, the conditions or criteria at any point in time. Say I'm initially setting up these conditions and I later want to change them because my business requirements have changed. I can do so as well. All right. I can also enable or disable hiding operators contacted by other operators. All right. In case one of your operators has already picked up a chat that was initiated by a visitor, you can also choose to hide them from your view so that you don't get confused between who you have to contact and who has already been contacted. And once I'm done setting up all of these customizations, I will have to click on apply. Let me give it a name. So I'll just say criteria 1, right? And I'm going to save. So my conditions have been set up. So going back to our grocery store example, the rings here, the tracking visitor tracking module, can be used to gauge which visitors are inside the store for a long time, which visitors are looking for a lot of things, who is lost and doesn't know where to begin with or what to buy, and also to gauge which visitors need suggestions on what products they need to buy, who's most interested in all of your products, and who wants to avail discounts. You can determine all of these based on the path they're traversing inside your store. So inside the visitor tracking window, you can basically get a complete picture of every customer who lands on your website, so you can enrich your team with very intelligent insights for targeted interactions. For example, let me click on this visitor. So here I can see the visitor ID. So we had talked about identification of visitors, right? So this will be the visitor ID. So the country that he has accessed from, he's from India, the browser that's he's been using, and what OS he's using Mac OS. All right, so I can get these details, plus I can also see what action they have done on the website, what state they're in on the website, if they have accessed a page, if they've clicked on the widget, or they have been triggered with a message. I can track all of this here, and the time that they have spent on my website, so I can determine if they're a prospective lead or not based on the time they're spending on my website. Because the longer the time they spend on my website, I know that they're really interested to know more about my products or buy any of my products. And the category of the visitor, if they're new or returning, and the IP address along with the country, which page they've visited, which page they've landed on, and how they landed on my website. So I can see all of these details. I can also start conversations here. I can initiate a chat with them. All right. So I can just start a chat right from here, and I can also see the website page that they have landed on and the time of their visit. I can track all of this inside this visitor online module. All right. So let me show you this one as well. So this is another visitor. He has an ID, and this visitor has clicked on the widget. He's also a new visitor, and he's on this page. He's on a different website or a different page, and he has also landed directly. So I can track all of these details pretty much inside the tracking window itself. This is basically getting a clear picture of who your customer is even before you start a conversation with them. All right. So you can also see all of the visitors that you have tracked so far on your website inside the visitor history module. So in visitor history, you can view the detailed information about your website visitors throughout their visits. So visitor history stores the behavior and action of each visitor during their visit. Using this, you can learn more about their behavior over a period of time and not just one visit. So it stores specific data such as visitors' first and last visits, duration of each visit, pages visited, etc. It stores all of this in the smart view of the visitor history module. So the following information with respect to your website visitor will be displayed. The name of the visitor, as you see here, the name of the visitor is Tricia. Email, the registered email address of the visitor, and the country from which the visitor is visiting your website, the location, time spent, total minutes spent on the website by the visitor during current visit, the date and time of the visitor's previous visit, the source that was used by the visitor to reach your website and when was the last time they visited your website, the IP address, and whatever their activities for the week and the month are. So what are the top pages that they have visited, and so much more. So there are two default tabs inside the visitor history module. So the two default types of tabs are all visitors and returning visitors. So all visitors will list all of the visitors who are visiting your website, and returning visitors will separate the repeated visitors from all the visitors, and it will list them separately. So these are all the customized tabs that have been created by me. So you can do so by clicking on the plus icon here. So you want to display it. You can filter the type of visitors that you want displayed inside the visitor history module, and you can set criteria inside this section, and you can also set as favorites, give your list a name, and then click on apply. So the tabs that you see here are the ones that were created this way: visit duration, visitor time. So I can only display visitors based on this condition. You can customize the views accordingly. So now we come down to the second step, capturing and converting your leads. Once you know who your visitors are, you need to start qualifying them. You can do so by proactively beginning a chat with them using our live chat widget. So let me show you how this looks inside the SalesIQ portal. So in the visitors online tab, click on a visitor who you want to chat with. In order to access your set of canned messages, you will have to type in the character hash inside the message box, and a list of suggestions would appear above the text box. All right, so if you're looking out for a specific message, then you can also type in a prime keyword of that particular message right beside the hash symbol. All right, so here I have a bunch. Maybe I'll stick to a welcome message. Let me say, good morning, I would be happy to assist you today. And I can just click on, hit on enter, and or click on the send button, and the message will be sent. All right, so that's how easy it is. You can also assign different departments. All right, I'm going to assign this to the support department. All right, and my message has been sent. Right, so here is the path through which the visitor has traversed on your website. So how can you automate these conversations and increase the efficiency of your business? In order to automate these conversations, you have something called intelligent triggers inside Zoho SalesIQ. So these intelligent triggers let you trigger actions to your website visitors at different instances, and you can also grab their attention. You can perform predefined actions when visitors land on your website or when he or she is accessing your web page. You also have an option to set custom triggers for your website. For example, you can trigger messages only to potential customers for high quality conversations. Get what I'm saying? So I'll show you how to set up a trigger inside the Zoho SalesIQ portal. So let me get back. So now you will have to navigate to settings, and then to automation, and to intelligent triggers. So here inside the dashboard, you already see two triggers. One is a new trigger and another is a test trigger. So let me show you how to add one. So first I will have to name the trigger rule. Let me say it's a new visitor trigger rule. All right, and then I'll have to go ahead and select a website where I want to trigger this message to the website visitors. All right, so I have a huge bunch. Let me just choose one. Let me say I want to trigger messages on the Zoho services website. All right, so now I will have to configure when I would like to trigger the visitor who's on my website. So this can either be when he immediately lands on my website, or accesses any page on my website, performs custom actions, or when he leaves the website. All right, so you can also trigger messages when he leaves the website saying, come back again soon, or just leaving a thank you message or something like that. All right, so this can be triggered again based on your own website requirements or business requirements. So I'm going to stick to lands on my website. And following that, I'm going to go ahead and choose a condition and a criteria for the trigger. So here again, I have a huge bunch of criteria that I can choose from: the time on site, search engine, region, number of visits, URLs accessed, and so on and so forth. So again, I'm going to stick to visitor type is equal to all. So I want to be able to trigger messages to all of my visitors, or I'm so sorry, I'm going to be triggering it to new visitors, right? Since my trigger rule is named new visitor, I'm going to just say visitor type is equal to new. And I'm going to choose what type of trigger I'm going to use. I can either invoke JS API or send a chat invite. So I'm going to click on send chat invite from say Zilka, with a message that says, hello there, how can I assist you today? Okay, so this message is going to be triggered after 10 seconds, or maybe let me say 2 minutes. He's been on my website, and he hasn't really done any action since he's new to the place. So this message is going to be triggered after 2 minutes. All right, so once I'm done setting up all of the criteria and when my trigger has to be sent out, I'm going to click on save. So yes, here it is. This is the new trigger rule that is going to be invoked when a new visitor lands on my website. So this is the dashboard where you can see all of the intelligent triggers that you have created for your website, or the different type of visitors that land on your website, and so much more. So engaging a customer automatically and personalizing these messages using customer data is really essential for any business, any online business. So you can measure and optimize the message reports by checking the statistics of the triggers inside the Intelligent Triggers dashboard. This in turn will optimize your performance. All right. So let's look at this one. This has been triggered 14 times and it's seen by 100% of the visitors, and unfortunately none of them have replied, and when it was last triggered 6 months ago. All right. So in case you want to disable or delete these triggers, you can do so inside the dashboard itself. So let me help you relate better. So relating back to our grocery store example, these intelligent triggers are like the salesperson initiating a chat with people who have been visiting your store multiple times, have been interested in your products for so long, and those who are regular customers, or those who buy a lot of products from your store, and all of that. So now you've captured and converted your leads. It is time to help your visitors or get them started with your website and its products or services. So customer engagement is a key to any company's survival. You need to communicate with your customers at key moments and hold them on. So this way you can turn signups into customers with the right messages at the right time. So you can also connect with the best leads on your website in real time. So for that, again, let us set up another trigger to nurture the leads on our website. Let's go back to our SalesIQ portal and navigate to settings, automation, and intelligent triggers. So now I'm going to click on add, and I'm going to give my trigger rule a name. So now that we're setting up a trigger rule to nurture leads on the website, let me just name it nurture leads. And I'm going to choose another website. Say I'm going to choose Zilker Auto, and I'm going to click on performs a custom action. All right. So let me just say when he is signed up. All right. So when I type in the custom action here, it is going to show up beside. All right. So performs the custom action. So the action is signing up. So now I'm going to set my say visitor availability is equal to idle. He has signed up and he is idle on my website. So I'm going to send a chat invite from Zilker, or maybe just me, with a message that says, hey there, do you need any help? So this is going to be triggered after 10 minutes after he's signed up and has been idle on my website. All right. So this way you can connect with your leads in real time, and you can also turn signups into customers. So these intelligent triggers serve that purpose as well. Step 4, supporting and retaining all of your customers. Then comes the most important step of all, customer support. So you need to optimize your customer support and measure the efficiency as well in order for your business to function swiftly and efficiently. So real-time messaging is the future of customer service, and it aligns perfectly well with the needs of the modern day user. I hope all of you are going to agree with me on that. No customer wants to be treated like a ticket, or they want to call a call center. So they need quick, effortless help that makes them feel human. This quick customer help is always best for businesses, because when there is faster resolution, there's more satisfaction, higher retention, and thus higher revenue. So it's technically a win-win for both your customers and your businesses. So you need to automate resolutions 24/7 and accelerate your team's efficiency. For this, we had already discussed about intelligent triggers during the previous parts of our webinar, which is why I'm going to go ahead and skip to the next part. And then you also have articles. In case your operators are not available during some part of the day, your website visitors can still help themselves with answers. For this, we have inbuilt articles and FAQs inside the SalesIQ live chat window, Visitors can access these categorized articles right from their chat window and get help. Articles help you draft and attach the content that is frequently wanted by your customers right on their chat windows, which in turn eases the work of navigating from one screen to the other in search of guides or articles. So you can also categorize these articles and help visitors reach topics instantly. The customers can click on the category and choose a topic from the list, which will further remove the pain of browsing through all articles in search of one. So let me show you how to set up articles inside your portal. Let us go back to our Zoho SalesIQ portal and navigate to Settings, Templates, and Articles. Alright, so this is the articles dashboard where you can see all of the articles that are available inside your portal. So as a recent advancement, Zoho SalesIQ has also introduced syncing articles from Zoho Desk. So you can also publish the drafts of articles synced from Zoho Desk, and you can also display them to your visitors. So click on Add to add a new one. Give your article a title and enter the content that you want for each of your articles, and following that you can choose a department. When visitors raise a query, articles from respective departments will be displayed to them, and they can choose one according to their own convenience. You can also choose categories for your articles. So you have a bunch of categories here. You can also add new categories. So once you're done drafting your content, you can save and you can publish the articles, and only those articles that have been published can be viewed inside the visitor's chat window. So if you're still in the process of updating your content and you don't want to display to the customers, then you can use just the save action and just the save option, and these articles will be stored as drafts. Adding an article in the tab and publishing it will directly reflect it on the website. So to enable these articles inside your chat window, you need to navigate to Settings, Websites. All right, and you will click on the website, Live Chat widget, Chat window, Configurations, and when you scroll down, you will be able to see the allow visitors to access articles from their chat windows. So you need to enable this toggle in order to let your visitors access the articles that are inside your portal. You can also edit the name of your knowledge repository. By default, it is named as FAQs, so you can edit this as well. If you wish to categorize your articles, you can check the categorize your articles box. And once you're done, you can update your changes. So you can see a preview of what this article FAQ section will look like inside the chat window. Alright, so in this case, visitors can help themselves even if your operators are offline. For the purpose of customer communication, we also have another option inside SalesIQ. You can make audio calls to your website visitors. So the operator in your organization can not only communicate with website visitors through live chat, but he or she can also initiate a call from the operator window, and once the visitor picks the call, both will get connected via audio call. So in case the call gets disconnected, they can use the call again option to connect back to their visitors. Likewise, the visitor can also initiate a call from the chat window, and once the operator picks up the call, both will get connected via an audio call. In case the call gets disconnected, they can also use the call again option. In case the call becomes missed, or if the operator cancels, then the visitor gets an option in the chat window to record and send a voice message to the operator. So inside the portal, so here is a chat, and you can initiate an audio call right away. All right, so this is what it will look like. Auto-assign conversation. So your visitors' chats can be assigned to the right teams based on customer data and website behavior. That is, conversations based on your customers' questions. So you can set rules to route chats to the respective people and teams. So let me show you how to set up chat routing rules. So here again inside Settings, Automation, you have a section called chat routing. The chat routing option available in the automation tab helps you prioritize and route visitor chats to operators based on their condition and criteria. So you can set different rules to filter your chat requests and route them to the right operators, and you also have an option to route the filtered chats to a specific operator. Visitor chats can be assigned to the right teams based on customer data and website behavior, that is, conversations based on customer questions. So you can set rules to route these chats to the respective people and teams. This will immensely improve customer retention for your business, one of the main points of focus of Zoho SalesIQ. And I'm going to show you how to add a rule. So I'm going to set up a routing rule for, say, maybe return policy. All right. And I'm going to select a website. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and choose a condition. Visitor type is equal to returning. All right, and these are the different conditions based on which I can route chats to my operators. I can either choose do not route, or route chats one by one, or I can route the chat to the operator who's dealing with the least number of chats at the moment, or to selected operators, or to the first available operator. So I'm going to go ahead and click on route to the first available operator, because I don't want to keep my customers waiting, and I'm going to add the operators. All right, so it can either be all available operators or the last chat attender, or so on and so forth. So I'm going to choose a few. So here they are. I can either route them to specific operators or departments that are available inside my organization. And once done, I'm going to click on save. So now when there are queries related to the return policy or any other criteria that you've set up, they're going to be redirected to the right operators or the departments that you have configured. You can segment the various sections of your customer's journey so that experts of each department can give them detailed assistance. So you can also configure departments based on your business needs. Let me show you how to set up departments. I'm going to navigate to departments. So here I have a bunch of departments that I've already configured. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add one called general queries, and it's going to be public. So I'll have to associate operators with the department. So I'm associating a few operators, and I'll have to configure I can enable or disable these other options based on my own preferences. And finally, I need to click on save. So here is the department. All right. So here you can see a brief overview of what configurations you've made for the particular department. So these departments are where you will route chats to in case you want a particular department to handle a particular set of queries. Collaborate and help your customers quickly. So you can add teammates for precise assistance so that you can resolve queries as a group. All right. So you can invite the operator, and in case you want to, you can invite other operators inside your organization, and in case you want to communicate internally, you also have an internal chat option. So you can do so by moving on to My Chats, and you can click on More Options, and you can click on Invite Other Operators. All right. This is only in case you want to resolve queries as a group. So there's one more operator. It's going to show up all of the available operators. So there's one operator who's available. So I can invite him for a chat. All right. When you receive queries that are beyond your expertise, you also have the option of transferring them to the right team or the person. You can do so again by navigating to more actions and click on transfer this chat. All right. So now it's going to show up all of the departments and the different operators that are available. So you can choose any one of these. You can choose this department and you can forward the chat. All right. So I can just click on the operator and say maybe please take over this chat for me, and I can click on transfer. All right, so now the chat will be transferred. So you can also have personalized conversations and take control. You can converse in the customer's native languages, and chat translations powered by Google are going to help you do this. So Zoho SalesIQ supports more than 27 languages, including Arabic. So with this type of language support, with this type of an efficient language support, you can understand better about what each customer has to say about you and your brand. You can address their needs without any hassle. All right, so you can give them instant resolutions then and there. Improvement through measures. So Zoho SalesIQ also gives you actionable feedback. So with this, you can take derivative actions to enhance your customer services. So they give you an overview of how every chat went, which regions had the most chats coming in from, who was the top operator, and how many calls were attended, how many chats were attended online, offline, and so much more. So this is all the actionable feedback that Zoho SalesIQ gives you to improve the performance of your business. So who uses SalesIQ? So teams basically use SalesIQ to drive their sales, to target their customers better, and to offer instant support, etc. So with respect to marketing teams, they use it for better retargeting with campaigns. So they capture prospective customers, they bring them into the funnel and convert them to potential leads eventually. They send the right messages to the right customers at the right time based on customers' website demographics. And with campaign information like, the previous campaigns that you sent out and the actions that have been performed from the campaigns, you can converse with your visitors more effectively. As for sales, they use it for sales-ready intelligence with CRM. So they target potentials based on deal values for better conversion. They integrate Zoho CRM with Zoho SalesIQ, and this way reps can have targeted conversations with website visitors using the CRM data and also with website preferences of the visitor. If the customer has already signed up for a CRM account or has been added as a contact in your CRM, you can view his CRM details also inside Zoho SalesIQ. As you can see here, you can see the account name, phone number, potential name, stage, and amount, closing date, and all of that. So you can see all of these inside the chat window itself. So basically, everything happening inside Zoho SalesIQ will be updated inside your Zoho CRM. So support teams, they can also use this for instant resolutions. They can also enable the desk integration for the same. So this is to scale their support system with bots running around the clock. So there are also Zobots, which we'll be talking about during the later part of our webinar. So these Zobots take up chats on behalf of your operators or you when you're not available or during non-business hours. So you can also seamlessly convert an ongoing chat to a ticket inside SalesIQ. You can view previous ticket statuses and do so much more. All right. So here, do you see this? You can immediately click on this button and your chat is going to be converted as a ticket inside Zoho Desk. And it will also show you the recent tickets from the same visitor. So ticket statuses can also be viewed. So here the status of the ticket is closed. So you can see all of these information again inside the chat window. As for product and customer success teams, they use Zoho SalesIQ to reach out and to have live conversations with customers. They can also onboard and engage them with the live data available. So you can also make customizations and keep up your brand image. You can make your brand image reflect on your chat widget. So do you see this? These are the different appearances that you can set. These are a few of the different appearances that you can set for your chat widget. So let me show you how to set up customizations. Navigate to settings, then to websites, and choose the website you want to customize the chat widget for. All right, I'm going to click on live chat widget, and I'm going to go here. So you can set the type of widget that you want for your website. All right, so you can see a preview of whatever you're going to do. All right, this is all of the different live chat widget sticker. So this is all the different appearances that you can give. You have a bunch of live chat widget stickers. All right, I'm going to choose this one, and I can pick a color. Let me stick to a standard blue, and I can display the number of operators that I would want on my website. I can also choose to hide the live chat widget when I'm offline and hide it on my mobile browser as well. And now I'm going to go ahead and update it in my website when all of my changes are done. So yes, I'm sure. So all of my changes have been saved successfully. So you can also change it whenever you want to. In case you're bored of the same thing, you can go ahead and change it after a while. So I can also choose a font face, and I can configure online and offline messages. So there's a lot of customizations that I can perform. So again, I can also customize the chat window appearance. That was for the widget, and this is for the chat window. So I want to go with a dark theme, so I'm choosing Lloyd, and small or large, I'll stick to small. And I can choose to display my company logo, the operator profile picture, and I can also change the appearance with a custom CSS file that I can upload. All right, so I'm going to click on update, and my changes have been saved. So here are other configurations. I can set chat waiting time, modify chat window language in case I want to support visitors from a different language background, choose departments to assign chats to, allow visitors to print chat transcripts, audio calls, and so much more. So I can also avail emojis in the chat window. So here is where I can name my knowledge repository and categorize my articles. So this is where I'm allowing access to articles for visitors right from their chat window. So finally, I click on update. You can also configure fields and response messages, like feedback message, thank you message, greeting message, and so much more. So your chat widget and your chat window are completely customizable from scratch. And then you have lead scoring. So you need to focus on the potentials when you have hundreds of visitors on your website to increase the possibility of faster conversion. So these lead scoring rules help you determine who are your potential customers and who to target, and which one of your visitors are likely to turn into buyers, and so much more. All right. So do you see this? The opportunity here and the lead score are displayed inside the visitors online module itself. So we had seen that when we click on the visitor online, so the opportunity and lead score are two major factors that tell you who your potential visitors are, and you can see them inside the visitor history module as well. So when you click on a visitor, you will be able to see the opportunity, the lead score, and all of that. So let me show you how to set up a lead scoring rule. So inside settings, I'm going to navigate to lead scoring, and I'm going to click on add. So I'm going to choose a condition. So I'm going to say if the number of past chats of the visitor is equal to 10, all right, I'm going to add 10 points to the lead score, and I'm going to click on apply. All right, so here is my lead scoring rule. So I'm going to assume that if the number of past chats from the particular visitor is equal to 10, he's going to turn out to be a prospective customer. So I've set up a rule that is going to add 10 points to his already existing lead score. So that's how you set up lead scoring rules inside Zoho SalesIQ. So now let's move on to the most important part of our webinar, the Zobots. All right, so here is a GIF that reflects the working of a Zobot on the website and how it transfers chats to human operators. So businesses these days have gone online completely, right? So every business owner spends a fortune to design their websites, but they're let down when visitors leave the website without doing anything. That's pretty disappointing. So if you're a business owner who's struggling to keep your visitors engaged, the Zobot is here to help. So it can basically replace some of the operators in your So it can take the place of the operators in your organization, and thus it can basically take up your operator's place inside your organization, thus assisting visitors around the clock by answering their queries instantaneously, be it one visitor or 100. So these Zobots can handle queries with the same efficiency at the same time. So the Zobot is a bot development platform inside Zoho SalesIQ. So the Zobot is a bot development platform available inside Zoho SalesIQ. With this, SalesIQ users can build very compelling bots to automate customer interactions. So we can program these Zobots to qualify, respond, and to So we can program these bots to respond, act, and to qualify customers on the website. So Zobots maintain a conversation with users in natural language. They understand the intent of what the user is trying to say, and then they send a response based on business rules and data of the organization. And they can be run both on websites and on mobile applications. So these Zobots are deeply programmed and they can be customized to fit your business requirements. You also have pre-built chat templates that I will be showing you later on. And these Zobots, they go the extra mile and schedule meetings as well by checking your availability. So they give visitors the ultimate website experience and information and qualify them for sales. They also help you collect feedback and measure customer satisfaction. So there are two types of bots that you can create using Zoho SalesIQ's bot building platform. You can build command-driven bots for which you will be using a platform called SalesIQ Scripts, and you have conversational bots or NLP bots that you can build using Dialogflow, Zia Skills, or Watson. So you can use these Zobots to generate leads for your business, or you can use them to collect details that you can store inside your CRM connection, or create tickets and push them to desk. So you can do so much more with the Zobots than you can ever imagine. So first, let me tell you how the Zobot is built. There's a chat interface for user interactions on the website or mobile application. This is where hundreds of message exchanges take place between the Zobot and the visitors who land on your website. Then it has a bot engine where you can design the Zobot to work as per your business needs. This is where the functionalities of the bot or its working are defined. So the bot engine basically defines the flow of the bot. And when the bot is handling conversations with visitors, it collects a lot of data. In case you need to look at this data later on or use it for some purpose, it has to be stored in a place, right? So that data is collected by the Zobot and is stored inside Zoho SalesIQ. So you also have the option to create a connection from Zoho SalesIQ to an external service or a database like CRM to store your data. So this database is necessary to store all of the visitor insights that are collected by the chatbot. By this I mean details like, visitor name, email, contact number, location, appointments, schedule, tickets, etc. So Zoho SalesIQ provides you all three components under one roof, thus excusing you of thus leaving you out the trouble of integrating and maintaining these three components separately. So now I'll show you how to set up a Zobot. All right, let's go back to our SalesIQ portal, navigate to settings and then to Zobot and click on add bot. So I'm going to give my bot a name, all right, and I'm going to add a description about the Zobot. and I'll choose the website on which I want to deploy my Zobot on. And following that, I'm going to choose the departments. So it is mandatory that you choose at least one department per website. Then I'm going to choose the type of visitors that I want my Zobot to trigger messages to. So again, here you have a huge list of conditions that you can choose from. But I'm going to again stick to all visitors because I don't want to leave out on any of them. And once you're done, you can click on apply. You can also add multiple conditions using or and. Following that, I'm going to set up when the Zobot has to trigger my visitor. When they land on my site and click on the chat widget or perform a custom action or initiate a chat. I'm going to stick to this but reduce the time by 3 seconds. Following which I'll have to set up working hours for my Zobot. Is it round the clock or just during business hours, non-business hours, or only when my operators are offline? So I wanted to pick up chats round the clock. So I'm going to choose 24/7, and then I'm going to set up the bot typing status to immediate. And then I'm going to go ahead and allow handoff in case any of my visitors feel the need to talk to a human operator while they're in the middle of a conversation with a Zobot. They can do so by clicking on the transfer to human option. Alright, so this is going to be displayed at the bottom of the chat window at all times. Only if I enable this, the visitors will be able to see this. So I can also configure the text that I want to be shown for handoff. Let me say, do you want to talk to a human? Alright, so a preview of what will be displayed to the visitor can be seen here. And following that, finally, we are going to go ahead and choose the platform on which we're going to build the Zobot on. So you have SalesIQ Scripts, which was the command-driven bot building platform like I had mentioned. And Zia Skills, Dialogflow, and Watson Assistant are platforms that help you build conversational or NLP bots. And in case you have a fully built bot engine, you can choose the Webhooks platform and use it to integrate it with Zoho SalesIQ's Zobot. So we also have Azure, that's an upcoming feature. So you have a bunch of platforms that you can choose from. So when you click on SalesIQ Scripts, you can look at a bunch of templates that we have. So you have different categories of templates, and you have functionality specific and industry specific templates that you can choose from. So when you choose one of these templates, it's going to replace the existing default script inside your builder, and it's going to completely restructure the code. All right. So this is the template. So you can, in case any of these templates match all of your business requirements, you just have to choose the templates and save it and publish it on your website. That's all you have to do. Or in case you have more refined requirements, you can make changes to the existing code, or you can also build from scratch. So here are the Zobot building platforms. So let me tell you about each of these platforms one by one. So SalesIQ Script is a bot building platform that uses Deluge as its online scripting language. So Deluge is Zoho's low-code online scripting language, which is used for rapid application development. So if you want a completely bot-driven conversation and you want to be able to customize your bot from scratch, you can choose the powerful SalesIQ Scripts platform. I'll tell you how it works. A visitor lands on the website. If the visitor matches the criteria that is set inside the Zobot will trigger a message. If not, it doesn't trigger a message, and the visitor must proceed to initiating a chat with the Zobot. When the visitor sends out a message, the message handler will come into play. So handlers are the backbone of the SalesIQ Scripts platform. So inside the message handler checks if the context in the message exists, and if it does, it collects all of the inputs that it can find in the message. Otherwise, it is going to go ahead and look for another message that matches the existing context. Once the message handler is successfully executed, the context handler executes. This is invoked after collecting all the necessary inputs for a particular context. Then we have the Zia Skills platform. So Zia Skills is a conversational bot building assistant that uses natural language understanding to process and perform skills and actions to respond to visitor questions. So inside the console of Zia Skills, developer console of Zia Skills, you can define a unique set of actions to respond to your visitors' questions. Zia Skills basically functions on skills and actions, all right? So a skill in Zia Skills is a collection of actions that you define to the bot to perform for website visitors, and an action is a single task that has the ability to perform multiple conversations. So you can use the Zia Skills platform to build your NLP bot because it gives you the benefit of using both plain text and code to configure your Zobot. You can insert your questions manually, or you can structure the code inside the context handler and execution functions. And using Zia Skills, you can directly answer questions, or you can construct responses by fetching data from SalesIQ and perform an action dynamically based on the visitor. So now the working, it's pretty much the same. So when a visitor lands on the website and matches the trigger criteria, he's going to be triggered with a message. Once the message is received from the visitor's side, it checks it for params, all right? This is useful when we don't know the action params beforehand, usually when parameters differ based on users. And if params are not available, the bot starts checking if the context in the visitor's message exists. If it is available, the bot will collect all the inputs in the context message and context handler function executes. This function is used to define the flow of an action. So this can be used to change the order in which params are prompted to users at runtime. Here you can skip params, do custom validations of param values, and ask for confirmation before execution at runtime. And in case the context doesn't exist, then the execution function will come into play. This is an endpoint to the execution of an action. So basically it defines the success or failure of the action that is going on and sends a message at completion. So this response can either be plain text or rich text. So that is how the Zia Skills platform functions. The next one is Dialogflow, which is an end-to-end build once, deploy everywhere development suite for creating conversational interfaces for your websites, your mobile apps, popular messaging platforms, and IoT devices. So it lets you create conversational tools without the complications of having to handle NLP. You can use it to build interfaces such as chatbots and conversational IVR that enable natural and rich interactions between your users and your business. So as for the Dialogflow functioning, when visitors are triggered and they respond with a message, the intents that are configured in Dialogflow are checked if they match with the visitor's message. So Dialogflow does pretty much all of the training for the Zobot using intents and training phrases. So Dialogflow responds with the fallback intent if none of the intents are matched, or when the intents match, it's going to collect the missing parameters and then it will check for fulfillment configurations. Then your fulfillment scripts are executed and responses are returned to the Zobot to be displayed in the chat window. And finally, we have the Watson platform. So the Watson Assistant powered by IBM helps you build powerful bot assistants for your website. So you can customize the Watson Assistant according to your website business needs and deploy it across multiple channels to bring help to your customers whenever and wherever they need it. So when visitors are triggered with a message and they respond to it, the Watson engine is going to match the dialogue or the anything else node, following which it will collect parameters, check for other Watson service actions, and responds with the dialogue response. So that's how the Watson platform functions. So you can integrate the Watson assistants that you have built with the Zobot and let them serve your visitors effectively. It basically knows when to search for an answer from a knowledge base, when to ask for clarity, and when to direct your visitors to a human. So most chatbots try to mimic human interactions, which can frustrate users when a misunderstanding arises, but the Watson platform knows when exactly to search for an answer and send it back to the visitor. So we've reached the end of our webinar and I hope all of you found it informative. Do check out our developer documentation for more information on the Zobot, and also check out our code samples section. If you have any queries about the topics that we had covered today, please write back to us at support@zohosalesiq.com, and also follow us on Twitter for more updates. So I'll see you in the next webinar. Until then, happy Zoboting.